Living in the end result. Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about living in the end result and how you can feel the wish fulfilled, how you can live in that end result. Because more than likely you are trying to manifest something in your life. And maybe you have read The Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Perhaps you've been following a lot of channels about manifestation, reading up on it, and how you can create the life that you want, how you can manifest the things that you want in this life just by feeling, okay? And feeling like the wish has already been fulfilled. But the question is how can we generate that feeling inside of us as if the wish has been fulfilled? Because one of the things that I see a lot of people doing, including myself, is when we are trying to manifest something, we are looking for it and keeping score of, okay, so I did this today, I did my meditation, I visualized what I wanted, I tried to stir up those emotions inside of me, but where is it? Where is it? I did all the things, I did everything that that person told me to do, I read that book and I did everything it said for me to do, but where is it? But that very notion, that very thought of where is it, automatically puts you back down at a lower vibration. You're no longer vibrating on the energy of bringing it into your life. And because you're looking out for it, you're now on the vibration of it's not here, it's not here, it's not here. I keep looking for it. I keep keeping score of trying to manifest this thing, but it's not here. So the idea is that you've got to let go of the outcome. Okay, you got to let it go. And in essence, you've got to enjoy the process of your life currently and feel as if the things that you want have manifested before they're here, and to not keep score of what's in your bank account, who's messaging you, if your lover is in contact with you, those kinds of things, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. You've got to let go of that. You've got to let go of searching for it, because if you're searching for it, you're on the vibration of searching for it. If you were living in the end result properly, you wouldn't need to be looking for it because it would already be here. So it's a practice, okay? And this is what Neville Goddard teaches in Feeling is the Secret. You must make a conscious effort. It must be at the forefront of your brain about feeling those emotions of it's already here, I already have it. But that can be very tricky when our environment, everything else looks the same. So to begin with, what you'll see is when you begin practicing this, you'll see that the first manifestation isn't the manifestation you are seeking, but it's the manifestation of the feeling first. Okay, so that's the first manifestation. The first manifestation is feeling as if it's already here. That's the first thing that you'll notice for a while until what you want actually comes. Okay, so how do we do this then? How do we practice this? Because it is a practice. You're not going to get it right straight away. I mean, some people may do, but most people will need to just practice this feeling before it starts becoming more consistent in your life. But it is a practice. That's why Neville Goddard gives you some techniques to use in his book, Feeling is the Secret, so you can embed it in your subconscious mind, which is why he talks about sleep and why he talks about prayer. And we'll get into those in a little bit. So what I want you to follow then, while you're practicing this, okay, is an NLP technique, okay? And this NLP technique can be used for anything when it comes to success, okay? And it's 4 simple steps, okay? So the first step is to know your outcome. The second step is to take action. The third step is to assess what's happening, so assess if it's working, if anything needs tweaking. And if it is working, okay, then just keep doing what's working. But if it isn't working, that's when you go into step 4, which is if it's not working, try something different, okay? So you can use that for anything, okay? And you can also use it for this to try and to live basically in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, living in the end result. So, because I'm also all about trying to get you to feel great every day. Because if we're talking about how it would feel, if the things that you wanted manifested in your life, you feel really good, right? You feel really great. So the practice then is to feel good and feel really great every day, and to get to a place where you don't actually need anything, where you feel like everything is perfect and everything is working out for you. Okay? But it can be tricky to get to that place. Okay? It can be tricky to manifest that feeling inside of yourself, so you feel it all the time and you feel this sense of oneness and connection and that everything's working out perfectly. And even though you're not where you want to be right now, it still feels really, really good because you're enjoying the process. You're enjoying the process from here to there. You're enjoying the process from the non-manifested to the manifested. Okay, and you don't feel like you need anything. You feel like it's all divinely timed. And when you get to that state of being where you just feel good all the time, no matter what is happening around you, no matter that your lover's not there or the money's not there or your health isn't there, you're still feeling really good. Okay, so let's think for a second. Okay, so let's go through these 4 steps in terms of this specific thing of feeling good all the time, because that's what it's all about, right? So the first thing is obviously to know your outcome. Okay, so when it comes to living in the end result, then your outcome should be to feel every day like your wish has been fulfilled. To feel every day as if your wish has been fulfilled. So that is your outcome. What I would suggest you do is you get yourself a bit of paper and write it down. I will write it down too, so you can see. Okay, so, right, we're going to write here. My outcome, okay? Your outcome is to feel every day as if my wish has been fulfilled. Okay? And you'll see it right there. To feel every day as if my wish has been fulfilled. That is my outcome. That is what I'm aiming for. And this is what you need to read every day. In fact, you may even want to rewrite it down every single day as well. So your outcome is to feel every day as if my wish has been fulfilled. Okay. So the next step of that NLP technique is to take action. Okay. Now the tools that Neville Goddard gives in Feeling is the Secret is sleep and prayer. Now, when it comes to sleep, so basically these techniques are used, first, let me just quickly explain it. These techniques are used to help you bring that feeling as if the wish has been fulfilled, into your subconscious mind to help you feel it every day, to remind you to feel this way every day. Okay? And it's a good practice that you can use to help retain that feeling and make it part of who you are. Okay, so that's what it means by putting it into your subconscious mind. You're programming, you're conditioning your mind to feel, to alert those feelings and emotions every day. Okay, so first of all, let's very quickly talk about sleep. So sleep, okay? Sleep is where, before the last 5 minutes of your day, you are feeling like the wish has been fulfilled. Now, the reason why you do that before you go to sleep is because your brain at that time is very susceptible to suggestion, okay? Because it goes into, when you're drifting off to sleep, you sort of go into a theta state. And I think that, I'm pretty sure that's the vibration that children have when they're very, very little. And they're very open to suggestion. So it's about getting yourself into that theta state when you're about to drop off to sleep and suggest yourself and bring up those emotions that everything is great, you're feeling really good, you're feeling really, really satisfied. Everything that you could possibly want or need is here. Okay? So it's about generating those feelings and emotions before you drop off to sleep. Now, prayer, again, it's very, very similar to that, except you're more awake. And you basically do this, it's sort of like meditation, okay? So you get yourself into a very calm frame of mind, and then you start to imagine and feel as if the wish is fulfilled. And you can, again, ask God, because a lot of people use that for prayer. But what you want to do is you don't want to go into prayer as if you're begging. Okay, that's why a lot of people hold their hands when they pray, because they're usually begging to God for an outcome. Okay, but that vibration of begging, okay, is not going to be very helpful to you, because you'll be on the vibration of it's not here, I need it, and that needy energy. It's not the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is it? Begging is not feeling like the wish has been fulfilled. It's begging because it's not there, it's not here. Okay, so when you go to prayer, and if you are religious and you want to pray to God, the best thing to do is to actually thank God, thank the universe for bringing those things into your life, and thanking them and thanking God as if your manifestations are already here. And again, the reason why this is powerful is because you're calming your mind, you're going to a quiet space to do this. Okay, and again, your brain is very susceptible to messaging when you calm your brain waves down, when you become in a more relaxed and peaceful state, which is why it's very akin to meditation, you see. Okay, so meditation is basically just another word for prayer in terms of what Neville Goddard is teaching here. Okay, I'm not saying that they are the same thing, okay, because they're not, but in terms of the way that Neville Goddard teaches it, and feeling is the secret, it is pretty much the same thing. You're quieting your mind, and you are imagining and thanking and feeling grateful for the things that have manifested in your life, okay? So you take action. You can do those two things. Now, the next step is to assess whether or not it's working, okay? Do you feel better? Do you feel good? So you may do these things and still feel not good, okay? Because we go back to that feeling, right? We're going back to the feeling of living in the wish fulfilled, and how it would feel if everything that you wanted had manifested. And if everything that you wanted to manifest had manifested, you'd be feeling really good. You'd be feeling very nice. You'd be feeling very satisfied. You'd be feeling contentment. You'd be feeling ease. You'd be feeling relaxed. You may feel relief. And if you're not feeling those emotions, then you need to tweak whatever it is that you're doing. So I have other suggestions that you can do to help with this. So basically, if it's not working, you've been trying for, like, let's say a few days, you've been trying the sleep thing, you've been trying the prayer thing, yet you can't seem to muster up those good feeling energies, then try something else. So one of the things that you could do to try something else is you might want to try like a kind of habit stacking kind of method. So what habit stacking is when you think of something that you do every single day almost automatically, and adding onto it a new practice, something different. So let's name a few things then that you do every day. So one of those things might be taking a shower. One of those things might be boiling a kettle for your cup of coffee or tea. One of those things might be going to the toilet, right? One of those things might be driving your car. Another one of those things might be brushing your teeth. So just thinking about things that you do every day, and then adding a habit to that, okay? So the habit that you need to do during those times is adding the habit of imagining as if the wishes that you want to achieve and the things that you want to manifest, have manifested, okay? And generating those feelings of satisfaction, ease, and feeling really good. Okay, so that's another thing that you can try out. But again, it all goes back to this NLP technique, knowing what your outcome is, taking action, assessing whether it's working, and if it's not working, to try something else. So if you try a lot of things and you still feel frustrated and you still feel really awful, one of the things that I would suggest you do is listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks, or get a book by Jerry and Esther Hicks about the teachings of Abraham, and just try and find how Abraham Hicks teaches it, how Abraham teaches it, is to find a thought that just feels a little bit better. Because maybe you can't get yourself to that point of feeling amazing every day and feeling like your wish has been fulfilled. And so it's then not a good idea to actually focus on the things you want to manifest, because if whenever you think about the things that you really need and you feel bad because you feel desperate for them, you're worried, and you're even frustrated and angry that they haven't manifested, and you've been trying different things out and it just hasn't worked, then maybe it's a good idea, just for a little while, to just think of things that are easier to think about, that are easier to generate good feelings. Okay, so one of the things that I go back to if I'm struggling with a manifestation, and each time I think about the thing that I want to manifest, I just feel bad, then one of the things that I do is I go out in nature, or I go out into my garden, because I really like my garden. It brings me positive energy. When I focus and contemplate my garden, like the flowers, the leaves on the bushes, the green grass, when I contemplate those things and I look at those things and I observe those things, it puts me in a better mood. Another thing that I do is I often think about my wife and my child. Whenever I think about them, it brings out positive emotions. Okay, so, and that's a very easy thing for me to get me into a good feeling state. Okay, another thing that I think about is I think about other family members, like my parents or my brother, and I think about those people, and I think about how much I love them, how much I care about them. One of the things that I really like is I really like this painting up here. That's something very easy. That's something that I could look at that very easily puts me into a high vibration and makes me feel good. Okay, so for a while then, just focus on those things. Think thoughts that are easy for you to feel good about, and just stay there. Okay, that's the practice, to stay in those good feeling thoughts, because the moment you start to feel good, the moment you start to feel really satisfied and at ease with life, is the moment when those manifestations that you really want will begin to trickle in. Okay, so as you can see, it's all about practicing. It's all a practice. And one of the best ways that I believe that you can feel good every day is to actually think of those more sort of general things that make you feel good in general. Okay, those things that just, no matter what you do, each time you think about them, it always puts you in a good mood the more you contemplate them. And what you want to do is you want to stay there. You want to do, the practice is to stay there. Okay, and that's how you can live in the end result, by feeling good as much as you possibly can every day, just for the sake of feeling good. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to live that way? Why wouldn't you want to think thoughts that are pleasing to you? Why wouldn't you want to feel emotions that are pleasing to you? And if you can think of things that feel good, why wouldn't you want to keep on contemplating those? Just keep on thinking about things that feel nice, that feel good, that feel nice to you. And I promise you, if you can stay in that kind of state and you can practice that state, so it becomes natural and it becomes a habit to you, then the other things that you want will naturally manifest. But if you're feeling bad about those other things, just don't focus on them. The feeling good energy is enough to bring it in. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about the things that you want. Because if you've got other things that make you feel good and make you feel just as good as the manifestations, okay, that you want to bring into your life, you're there. You're going to bring them in. You're going to bring them in. You don't have to think about them. Okay, you can just think about other things that feel good, and those other things that you want will come in. Okay, because you can't feel that good without good things happening. And that's the important thing to remember here about living in the end result. The more you feel good, the more amazing you feel, no matter how you get there, whatever thing you think about that helps you get there. Good things will come. Wonderful things will come. If you are feeling wonderful, your life will be wonderful, and more wonderful things will keep on happening. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like any kind of coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.